Well, hello everyone. Hopefully you're doing pretty well today. My name is Deborah and welcome to my channel, Crafty Chalk and Creations. I'm an independent designer of Chalk Couture, and today we're going to be making 3 graduation cards using a retired transfer. Well, they pulled out of retirement. You did it. It's a last chance. And I will also be using the Celebration Minis, the Congrats one. Now, first thing I need to do is grab some surface wax, and I need to wax my card. And I just grabbed an old towel here, and I've already waxed the outside. Now I'm going to wax the inside portion of the card. And you just go ahead and add a little bit of wax to your towel, and you rub it on your card. And then you just kind of buff it in there a little bit. Now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and, and if you would like to purchase any of these items from Chalk Couture, I will have an editable shopping cart link posted down below. And on the back of my transfer, I'm going to write the name of it. You did it. That's the matte side, because your transfer is attached to a shiny side. Now, you see these white lines here. You could cut these apart if you want to. I'm just going to take a pair of scissors here, and I open them up with a pointy side, and I'm just going to score along those white lines, so that way I'll have everything on one backing sheet instead of a bunch of smaller pieces. All right, now that I've got my cards waxed, I'm going to go ahead and peel this transfer off. This is for the cap. And as you can see, it's a little shiny there. That's where it's sticky. So I need a fuzzing cloth, and why that is because you want to add some lint to it, even though you waxed the surface of your card, to prevent your transfer from sticking so well. As you can see, it's still kind of sticky. I'm going to have to fuzz this quite a few times because I don't want my transfer sticking to my card so well to the point where when I go to remove it, it could stretch and distort or stick to the paper on my card. So I'm just going to go ahead and wax this several times until it feels a little bit tacky. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to center this. You are more than welcome to measure if you'd like it to be very, very precise. But I'm just trying to kind of eyeball it here a little bit. Now that I have it on there, I'm going to smooth it out with my hands. That way, if I feel any little lint balls or any wrinkles or anything like that, I can smooth that out. Now I'm going to be using my mini squeegee and my small squeegee, and also the multi-tool right there on the tassel part. Now I'm going to be using the black velvet paste for the cap portion, and I grab a generous amount of paste on my squeegee, and I just go ahead and apply it. Now if you would like something a little bit more permanent, you could go ahead and use the ink and just heat set it. I do have a couple of videos where I show making cards using the ink, and I will post those also down in the description box below and also at the end of this video. That way if you would like to watch that and how to apply the ink. Now I'm scraping off the excess so that we have good even coverage on my card. And now I'm going to go over to the Bumblebee Yellow. Now you can use whatever colors that you would like to use. As one of the things I like about Chalk Couture, I just decided to use black and yellow. You can use whatever colors you would like. And I'm just applying that with my multi-tool there. And I've scraped out the excess. Now it's going to be time for peel and reveal. I start at the corners and then I start lifting up from the middle. You slowly lift up just to make sure that you have good coverage. If you need to, you might have to lay it back down and do a little touch up. That looks pretty good. Now I washed my transfer after each use, that way I know I have good crisp lines. And after I wash it and it's dry, it's still a little sticky, so I have to go ahead and fuzz it again. I'll have to do that process for each card. Now I'm going to go ahead and line this up again and just kind of eyeball it, smooth it out again. Same process as with the first one. Make sure there's not any little lumps, bumps, air bubbles, or any wrinkles. Make sure it's good and smooth. And again, I'm going to be using the black velvet with my small squeegee, and it has that bevel edge. And generously apply it again. and smoothing it over that area, that mesh silk screening. I'm just trying to be mindful of not to get that area with that tassel. Okay. Now there we go. I've got that applied on there. Now I'm going to scrape off the excess. That we have good even coverage. And again, I'm going to go use the Bumblebee Yellow for the tassel area. Now I'm applying that with the multi-tool. Now, if you'd like to, you could outline that little area with black if you like, but that's up to you. Now we're going to go ahead and peel and reveal. That turned out fairly nice. Now there is a little white area there, but that can be filled in later. Now I washed my transfer again, same process, and then I fuzzed it so that way it doesn't stick to the card too well. Now this one I'm positioning a little bit higher because I'm going to be using that congrats part in that mini transfer. Now I'm smoothing it out again. So that way I know it's, I don't have any little lumps or bumps or any wrinkles or air pockets there. Now this one I'm going to be using Shimmer Storm. Kind of reminds me of gunmetal. It's really pretty. It's that black velvet and it just has that sheen to it. I absolutely adore this color. Now again, I apply this generously with my small squeegee and just kind of spread it out there a little bit. Oh, you see that shimmer coming through? Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Just something a little bit different if you like a little bit of sparkle. So I thought I'd make one with some of the shimmer shadow. Just trying to be careful not to get that tassel, and I'm just going to spread that on there. Just scraping off the excess and putting it back in my jar. Put my cap back on there. I'm going to go back into that Bumblebee Yellow with my multi-tool and just apply that. And as I'm doing that, I'm scraping off the excess because it's such a small area that I need to apply that paste. Like I said, you can use any color combinations you would like. That is one of the things I love about Chalk Couture. Now it's time for the peel and reveal. Oh, look at that shimmer. Shimmer Shadow is a perfect name for that color. Peel that up. Look at that shimmer. Kind of has that gunmetal look to it. Now I went ahead and washed my transfer. Now I'm going to make sure that all my little caps are dry. That my paste is dry. Now that it is dry, I'm going to use some more surface wax because I'm going to be layering the transfers on top of it, and I don't want to risk pulling up any of the paste, even though I've dried it, from the transfer. So you just take your towel like before, you just go on ahead and add a little bit of wax to it and buff it in. And I'll do that with these two cards. Now the Shimmer Shadow one I won't because of the glitter. And just apply a little bit to the surface there over your area that you just pasted. Now that's, good and dry, you just add a little bit of the wax there. Now that that is all done, I'm going to go ahead and the congrats one, I think I'm going to put there at the bottom. I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to take care of the other two first. I'm going to use this transfer, You Did It. I'm going to place that one over the center of the cap. And I'm going to need to fuzz it. Just add a little bit of lint. You know what? I may as well grab the other one and the congratulations and fuzz that one also. That way I can do both cards. I can go ahead and paste both cards at the same time. And then I'll put congrats on the inside of one. I'm going to put You Did It on the inside of another one. Now I've had to fuzz this several times. So now that it feels like it's pretty good, I'm going to go ahead and grab these cards. And I'm going to use the congratulations. I'm going to try to center that. Now you can see some of the outline of the cap underneath there, so that way you'll be able to center your saying on there on the top. And I just lay it on there, center it. Oh, got a little air bubble, need to smooth that out a little bit, reposition. Now I'm just going to take my fingers and just gently rub around the words, because that's pretty much the only area I want to make sure that I have contact on top of the cap. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the "you did it" and center that and just wipe it on there with my fingers, smooth it out. Now I'm going to grab my small squeegee and I'm going to use the bright white. You can use whatever colors you would like. And I'm just going to quickly smooth it on there. Make sure I have enough paste on there. And quickly smooth it on there with the paste. There you go, and I'm scraping off the excess, that way I have good even coverage. Now I'm going to peel and reveal. You don't want to let it sit on there too long. Oh, okay, I do see that I did peel up a little bit of the black paste right there, but that's okay. I'll touch that up with a paintbrush at the end. I'm going to lay this down on my towel, sticky side down, and I'm going to make sure, just check, make sure that's not peeling up any paste on this one. And smoothing it back down, I'm going to grab some more of that bright white paste and apply it to the transfer. I'm smoothing it, trying to make sure I get all my words there, my letters. I'm going to scrape off the excess. Peel and reveal that one. There you go. That way you can see how that looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and just give these a quick cleaning, because I want to use these on the inside of the card. So I just spritz it down with water, and I use my board eraser to clean the paste off of it, and I just go ahead and generously scrub on the top of it and make sure I get that paste off. And now I'm just going to go ahead and grab a paper towel, so that way I can dry it off and wipe off that paste. And I'm just going to lift it up and obviously clean underneath the surface. Now I'm flipping it sticky side up on both those transfers. And then what I'm going to do with my board eraser, I'm going to spritz it a little bit with water, and then I'm going to take my board eraser and just dab it where those letters are at, so that way I make sure that I don't have any paste on the in the mesh screening. So I'm just dabbing the board eraser. You don't want to abrasively scrub on the sticky side, because you could take the stickiness off. You don't want to do that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a disinfectant wipe, and I'm going to wipe off the back of it where the sticky side is. And not only that, when you use those, it will also, I need to kind of dry this off a little bit here. I'm going to lay those back down. Now I'm going to be using my disinfectant wipe. Now that is on the side that you paste on. Like I said, you go ahead and you use a disinfectant wipe on the sticky side there. There we go. So that way, when it does dry, it helps bring some of that stickiness back. Do not use any baby wipes. You want to use a disinfectant wipe. Now I'm going to set that aside on my towel there, sticky side up, give it a chance to dry. Let me get my cap put on my paste there, so minimizing drying. I need to dry off my surface here. Now I have got my other card. While those are drying, I'm going to be using the congrats portion of that celebration mini transfer. in the shimmer shadow. Now I am going to need to fuzz it a few times, just like I did with the other transfers, just to make sure I've got some lint on the back of it. You know what? I'm going to be using And So the Adventure Begins on the inside of this card, so I may as well just go ahead and peel that off and also fuzz that. I just want to make sure it's good and fuzzed. You have to do it several times. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it and trying to line it up here a little bit. Now, I think I might just only use the congrats part on this. I'm not going to use the entire transfer. I'm trying to eyeball this. All I need to do is reposition it. And then I just use my finger and smooth out that congrats because I'm just going to use the word. I'm not going to use the rest of it. Now I'm using my mini squeegee in the black velvet paste. Now I just need a little bit of paste, not too much. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply it like I did with the others. I just need to be a little bit more careful of where I place it because I don't want that banner border and I don't want to use any of the stars. Now I'm going to scrape off the excess from my squeegee back into the jar. Now I'm going to scrape off the excess, that way I have good even coverage of the transfer. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel it. And there we go. We got congrats. Okay, that looks pretty nice. Now I'm going to lay that on my towel, sticky side down. I'm just going to spritz it with some water until I can get it to the sink and clean it. Now I'm going to fuzz the inside, and not the inside, the transfer. Then I'm going to put it on the inside. So I've got the You Did It, those other cards. Now I'm just going to go ahead and get my little dryer here and make sure that it's good and dry before I open those up. Now that's dry and it is sticky. I'm going to fuzz it just a little bit here, maybe a couple times, 1 or 2 times, just to take some of that tack off. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and try to center this. And I'm just pressing my finger to make sure that I've got good contact with the surface, my card. I don't feel any fuzzies or any little air bubbles there around the letters. Now with the You Did It, I didn't feel like I needed to fuzz that one, so I'm just going to apply that on the inside of the card there, and then same thing with my fingers, just smoothing it out so I make sure I have good contact with my card there. Now I'm going to go back to the black velvet there, and I'm just using my mini squeegee. And I'm just going to smooth on the paste. Try to make sure I have all my letters covered. Scrape off that excess. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel and reveal. Now I'm just going to lay that down on my towel there. That turned out really nice. It gives you professional results. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the congratulations transfer there and my mini squeegee with the black velvet paste and generously apply it, scraping off any excess. Let me go over that one more time there. Make sure you have good even coverage. I'm going to peel that. I like how that turned out. It looks really good. Okay. Now, I need to spritz those down until I get them to the sink to clean them. I'm going to go ahead and use my dryer and just dry this a little bit, because I don't want my card closing on it while the paste is still wet. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it a little drying there. And same thing with the other one. I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to go to the shimmer silver or shimmer shadow one, and I'm going to use that other transfer. And so the adventure begins. Now I'm just eyeballing this. You are welcome to measure if you'd like to. Now I'm just going to go ahead and press this down with my finger. Make sure I have good contact. Now I'm going to use the mini squeegee, that black velvet paste. Like I said, you can use any colors that you would like to use. That shopping cart link will be editable, so that way you can change out the colors. If you'd like to add other transfers, you are welcome to do that. Now I'm just scraping off the excess. Make sure that I have good even coverage off the transfer. And I'm just going to slowly peel it up. And there we go. That looks really nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick dry. Make sure the outside of it's dry too. Grab those others. Just a little final drying. And there we go. Now this one, where I peeled up a little bit of that paste, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a paintbrush and some of that black paste. Use a little bit that I have in the lid there. I just need a little spot. And I'm just going to touch that up with the brush, as you can see. That's all you need to do. They're all good and dry, and there we go. You have 3 cards that you're able to make using those 2 transfers. Thank you so much for watching.